Hi, everyone. So I think my bio pretty much says most of what I wanted to say already. But I spend most of my day really working with Olim, either at my school. When we made Aliyah in 2020, as it was mentioned, my husband was a shul rabbi. I was a principal of a school. And when we decided to leave our community, I really think that we weren't sure what we were going to do in Israel. He announced to the shul that he was leaving before Corona started in November 2019. And we figured we'll do something. We'll figure it out. But I never in my wildest dreams thought I would continue in Jewish education. And he knew he was not going to be continuing as a rabbi. And we figured hopefully things will work out. And then shortly afterward, after we had announced to our shul that we were leaving, Corona broke out. And then if it was difficult to find a job in Israel, it became even more difficult because people were being let go from their jobs. And we continued on our journey, just having a lot of emunah, a lot of faith, and Baruch Hashem, Hashem really, really helped us. And within a few weeks of arriving in Israel, while we were already still in Bidud, if everyone remembers back then, being in your home for 2 weeks, already we were getting phone calls, thank God, with different job opportunities. And a year after we arrived, I was called by a school that had opened to be able to help Anglo kids to find their way, that there was an opening for a principal at that school. Thank God it's a 20-minute walk from my house, and I've really been privileged to work with teen Olim, some kids who actually were born in Israel, but for some reason are more comfortable in an Anglo environment. To really be able to help them to integrate into Israel and to find their way to love Israel. Our classes are taught in Hebrew. All of our teachers are bilingual. And we offer that Anglo warmth that you may not always find in different schools. And thank God our school has grown tremendously in the past 3 years and it continues to grow. And I spend a lot of my time meeting with Olim families who are coming in, who are like totally overwhelmed, either because they just made Aliyah. We just met with someone yesterday who had made Aliyah on Thursday. And they're like worried about their teen children, where are they going to find their place? So those are some families we meet with. And then we meet with other kinds of families, which I find even more heartbreaking. Families who made Aliyah 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and their kids are just struggling in Israel. They don't love Israel anymore because they're not getting that tzmicha. They're not getting that love here in Israel from their teachers. It's big class sizes. The teachers are a little bit of a different style than some of the American teachers that I grew up with. And they're like, I just want my child to love learning Torah. I want my child to love being in Israel. And b'li ayin hara, we can say comfortably that of all of our students, we have 60 plus students Be'ezrat Hashem for next year. Not one of our students wants to go back to Chutz La'aretz after being in our school because they're just so happy. They're really happy coming to school. And I really think when we talk about what the Israeli government can do right now to support Olim, there are so many families now who are making Aliyah with teens, and that really needs to be supported. We are working right now without government support, without municipality support. Beit Shemesh brags about being a city that really takes care of their Olim, but we don't really get a lot of support. They brag about our school, but we really don't get a lot of support either from the municipality or from the government. And I recognize, not only as a principal, but also as a parent of Olim, how important that is. When we made Aliyah with a 9th grader, a 7th grader, and kids underneath. And we really see how important it is for kids to really be able to have that love, that warmth, that acceptance, and teaching them Hebrew at a way that really speaks to them. There are kids who don't pick up Hebrew, not just because of academic difficulties, but even because of emotional difficulties, because they've had such a hard time saying goodbye to their friends and dealing with the Israeli tarbut, either of their teacher or of their friends. And for emotional reasons, they don't pick up Hebrew. And they really need to be in a place where they feel comfortable in order to open up to learn Hebrew. And Baruch Hashem, we're very happy that we're successful in our school for kids to really learn Hebrew at their pace. And I really hope the government continues to realize how important that is with so many teen Olim coming now, how important that is. When we made Aliyah, people said to us, do not come with teenagers. It's not done. Within the past 4 years since our arrival, we've seen so many families come with teens, and it's becoming really a need. So many more families are coming now, and it's something that really needs to be addressed by the government. You had a question? We have kids, you would not believe it. We have kids who come from Otef Aza. We have kids who come from Givatayim, from Modi'in, from really all over the country, from Yerushalayim, next year from Avochoron, really from all over the country coming to our school. We don't have dorming. They schlep on buses. It's difficult, but there really is a need for our school. And again, we're seeing growth. We get calls from the gush, from everywhere. It's really important. Yeah. Simcha Rotman left already, so it's a little. Simcha Rotman left already, so it's a little too late. I really believe. Okay, so I really believe as an Olah, it's Parshat Shlach. It's a little bit funny to talk about a Klita conference. The last thing I ever want to do is say anything bad about Eretz Israel. I love this country, and what's more, as an immigrant here, as someone who made Aliyah 4 years ago, I am so grateful for everything this country has done for me. You think about moving to any other country in the world and you have to wait 10 years to get a green card and pay a lot of money for a lawyer. You come here, they give you a wad of cash in the airport. I mean, they are so good to the Olim here. And as much as we want to doresh, and as much as we want to say we want more support, and that's needed, and there are different issues that are needed. You know, housing is very expensive right now. That's very deterring for Israelis, and jobs are very difficult. Americans are very different kind of people than other people who make Aliyah. In the past, people came here because they were running away from something. Americans are coming here and they want comfort. They want to be able to have the same respect for the jobs here that they had there. They want the same salaries here that they had there. They want the same home comfort here that they had there. They're leaving big homes in Teaneck and big homes in America, and they want to have the lawns here, and they want to move to American communities where there are other Olim like them. And those places, it's very hard to find housing. In Ramat Beit Shemesh right now, I have people who are constantly coming to me and they're saying, I want to live in Ramat Beit Shemesh. There's very little available in Ramat Beit Shemesh. And what's available are tiny cramped apartments for a tremendous amount of money because there's so much demand. And the same is true in Scheinfeld where I live and in Modi'in. It's very, very difficult. And Americans, they want to have Aliyah in a comfortable way. Now, I'm not saying they should, but I think that we do have to find solutions because the Americans are coming. I know so many people who are making Aliyah now. I literally do not know many people left in America. A year before we came, my sister came. A year after we came, my parents came. I have so many family members here, so many friends who are here. People are coming, and we have to figure out solutions because there really isn't a lot of room in these Anglo places. I just want to move on to two other quick initiatives that we did, and then, just to answer any other questions. When I was making Aliyah, so as I said, we announced we were making Aliyah in 2019, and then Corona started, and no one knew how to get here. Corona stopped everything. The government offices closed, the ships stopped, the planes stopped. Nefesh B'Nefesh had no idea how to get here. So I was a Rabbanit at the time. I guess you're always a Rabbanit if you're married to a rabbi, maybe, I don't know. But either I went on the YU Rabbanit group, and I said, does anybody know anyone who's making Aliyah so we can try to help each other? There were 10 of us on the group, and we basically shared any tips to get to Israel, and we managed to get here. And now that group is 400 people who are in the process of making Aliyah right now. And after we got here, we opened up other WhatsApp groups called On the Other Side, and people who are here help support each other. So from there, I deal with a lot of Olim also, and I see a lot of the issues that come up, and a lot of it is really support for each other. Nefesh B'Nefesh is great, but when you get here, you really need someone who can help you, and that's something that those groups do as well. And this last initiative, which I think is really important, started after October 7th. And that was basically, there's so many people in Teaneck, in Woodmere. If you're on your high, come. Teaneck, Woodmere, wherever communities there are, where people are settled and they're happy and they're comfortable. But they're starting to think about coming to Israel, either from ideological reasons or anti-Semitic reasons or whatever reasons they're thinking about coming. The unrest, the political unrest in America. And what I started to do was interview different families who had made Aliyah in the past 5 years, different communities. And that way people would feel that peer pressure, realize my friends are all coming. My families are all coming. These were the challenges they had in coming. And this is why they're so happy they did. This is how they dealt with challenges. There are challenges in coming to Israel. You can't gloss over them. You have to name them. But you can also see that with those challenges, with it not being perfect, it's an amazing opportunity that we have today that our grandparents would only have dreamed of having. And we have to have that approach. We can't complain. We can't be meraglim. Chalila, we should ever complain about living in Israel. We should be grateful to the government. We should be grateful to everything that we have here. It's certainly Takadosh Baruch Hu. But at the same time, to realize what those challenges are and to be able to duration, to be able to find what really can make that Aliyah a little bit smoother. So hopefully everyone in Chutz La'aretz will come. I'm sorry, yes, question.
Yes. What's happening with all those that are trying to go down on the way, needing food, needing work, needing everything a human being can, and there's nobody there. Ki'ilu lo hayu. How can you even say to the Kadosh Baruch Hu, הילדים שלך לא יודעים איך להתנהג? זה הורג אותם.
Are you referring to the government, or who are you referring to specifically? Who are you referring to?
It's not Aliyah anymore, it's the people here.
I hear you. Okay, so my turn is over.
No, we want to know how you can connect to your Facebook, not your Facebook.
Oh, b'simcha. Okay, so the WhatsApp group, send me a WhatsApp. We do get a lot of people who try to sell things, so we are careful. They send us a message. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Ariela Davis, 1L. My parents spelled it wrong. You can find From Faces of Aliyah, Ariela Davis. You can message me if you want to be on that WhatsApp group. We only accept people who are in the process of making Aliyah. So it's not everybody just trying to sell their business. If you want to look up From Faces of Aliyah, it's on Instagram and also on Facebook. And again, if you want to get on those WhatsApp groups, reach out to me, b'simcha. I'm happy to help anybody who's in the process. Everyone should just make Aliyah successfully. We should only have good things here.